And I work in the public service, in the oil and gas sector, in public service, but I'm also a writer, I'm a mindset strategist, and I'm a speaker. And mindset is very important to me. It's very, very important to me because I believe that if you have the wrong mindset, your whole life will be wrong. But if you have the right mindset, then everything, no matter what happens, no matter what happens to you, everything will work out well for you. And before I continue, I'd like to also shout out to my Nigerian people. For the first time in many, many years, Nigerians have decided to stand up and speak against the things or speak about the things that they believe in. And for many years, we've had issues of police brutality, especially a particular squad in the police, we call it SARS, something that has to do with the anti-robbery squad. And they've not been working, they've not been serving us the way they're supposed to. So the young ones amongst us, in the past 2 or 3 days, they've been going on peaceful protests about it, and then we're succeeding. This is the first time it's happening since maybe in the past 50 years that Nigerians will come out to speak publicly, the young ones especially. So I'm just saying hi to all my Nigerian people for being bold enough to come out and speak about the things that concern them. So the reason why I'm so interested in mindset, because I grew up in a family where I'm the first child of 6 children, 3 ladies and 3 men. I'm the firstborn. And you know how it can be sometimes growing up in a large family and being the first, there's a lot of pressure on you. First of all, your parents will make all the mistakes with you. They make all their mistakes with you and then start correcting the mistakes they made with you with the younger ones. So I had a lot of pressure on me to be the best. You're the first child, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to take control, you have to take charge. And I hated it as a child. I hated having all that responsibility. Having at 10 years, I already have 5 younger ones, and I didn't like it. And my father was always on my case. In fact, it got to a point I thought my father hated me. He was always, why don't you do this like this? Why don't you do that like that? You can't do this right, you can't do that right. But as I got older, I realized that he didn't hate me because he felt that criticizing me would help me do better. But instead of the criticism to make me do better, I got worse because I felt I was under pressure. And in trying to play, the harder I tried, the worse I got. You know, so as an all-age student in primary school, I did very well in primary school. By the time I got into the university, into the secondary school, I was an average student. By the time I got into the university, I stopped trying because I felt I'm not one of those people who would get A's. And I was told that for you to make the best result in school, then in the university, you'd have to try extremely hard. It was extremely difficult to do very well. So I just relaxed. I felt, okay, it's hard, I can't do it. And so I left the university with just an average score in the university. I always thought that the limelight, I would never, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I wouldn't be talking like this to you guys. I would never do it 2 or 3 years ago. Even though I was a bit nervous last night, I couldn't sleep. Last night I couldn't sleep because this is the first time I'm going to be talking to people who are not generally Nigerians. You know, it's like for me, it's an international forum. You know, so I was a bit nervous. I couldn't sleep last night. I kept on hearing things in my head. I kept on seeing pictures in my head. But because I know better, I was able to calm myself. I told myself, Ngozi, it's all right. It's just, they're just human beings like you. So there's nothing to be afraid of, nothing to be, nervous about. So I always wonder, with all that fear in me, with all that, all those thoughts in me, and I'm not smart enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm just not enough. I was never able to, I didn't know my purpose in life. I didn't know. I was always asking questions. I would always ask God, what's my purpose in life? And I never could get a definite reason why Ngozi was put here on earth. Until maybe a year or 2 ago, I had to look for a coach, I had to get somebody. I paid somebody we sat down and she asked me questions, and based on my answers, she was able to, well, both able to realize, okay, because this is what you're supposed to do. And it felt just right. It was just natural. So I believe that, I know that man is a creation of God. God made man. And my Bible tells me, I'm not sure if everyone here is a Christian, but I'm a Christian. Without apologies, I'm an unapologetic Christian. So my Bible tells me that God created man, and God made man in his image and in his likeness. It means that God made man to look like him and to function like him. So God is a creator. God made man to be a creator. I now know that I don't have to wait for life to happen to me. I make life happen for me. I now know what I want to do based on the knowledge I have now. I know that these are the things I want to do. These are the things that I have been called to do. Sometimes things may not happen the way I want them, but I'm not phased. I focus. A few days ago in my book, Mindset Matters, I wrote, Mindset Matters is a very funny book. It's supposed to have been on Amazon by now, but it isn't there yet. Very soon, in a few weeks' time, to be on Amazon. There was a little story I wrote about how I was making soup. It's a funny story. I was making soup, and I was cooking the soup. I smelled something funky. If you're a Nigerian, I think I can see one or two Nigerians here. There's a soup we call egusi soup. So I was making the soup in the morning, and then I smelled something funny, and then I thought it was the vegetable. I smelled it. It didn't smell funny. So I cooked the soup. When I was done, I tasted the soup, and I could still taste something a little bit off. I was like, no. This soup, I spent money and I spent time cooking this soup. You will taste good. You will taste good. And everybody that eats you would enjoy you. I will compliment you. That's what compliments me, that the soup tastes good. I can't waste my money, and I'm not going to pour this soup away. So I just said that, and I left, and I went to work. When I came back, everybody ate the soup. My husband ate it, my children ate it, and I ate it, and it tasted good. It's a very funny story, but it's just a little illustration to show us that whenever life throws, I think Americans call it, I think it's a curveball. Whenever life throws those unexpected things at you, don't be phased. Don't worry. Don't just relax, calm yourself down, and speak what you want. Because I believe that life is easy. That's my own understanding, that life is easy. Life is not difficult. God did not make life difficult for us. Yes, challenges will come. And the Bible says we should welcome those challenges when they come, because they're not meant to bring you down. Challenges are supposed to, take you up. They're supposed to make you stronger. So that because the next time another challenge comes, it will be stronger than the last challenge. So when the next challenge comes, you're better prepared to handle it. So now when challenges come my way, I'm not phased, I'm not disturbed. I just focus my attention on what I want. I no longer define myself on my past, the things that have happened. My life is now motivated by my future. So I'm always looking ahead. My Bible tells me, forget the things that are behind you, and then face and concentrate on the prize of the high calling. So I have a prize ahead of me. I know what I want. I know what my future is. Even if I don't know exactly what my future is, I have an idea, a very good idea of what my future is. So I focus, and I don't allow anything. Bible says, set your eyes like flint. You know how sharp the tip of a piece of wood can be, as sharp as it is. You focus your attention on what you're looking ahead of. Don't be faced by the things that are happening around you. Like this year has been an awesome year. A lot of people have died this year. So many people have died. Loved ones, friends, colleagues, family members have died this year. A lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people don't have the source of income anymore. It's a lot. Like Dr. Kelly was saying, it's a lot. It can be difficult. Sometimes it's easier to just give up and say, okay, I give up. I can't fight anymore. but you don't have a choice. When you remember your future, when you remember how you want your life to be, you don't have a choice. The Bible calls it the good fight of faith. It's a good fight. So since you know it's a good fight, you can't give up. And your script has already been written. Your script says that you won the fight. So when I remember and I see that I won the fight, even though I'm still fighting now, but I look at the future and I see that I won the fight, I can't give up. If I give up, it means I'm saying that my script is wrong. My script is wrong. So I've given up. I can't give up. I have to keep fighting that fight because I know I have already won. So we need to change the way we think. We need to change the way we speak. If we change the way we think and we change the way we speak, it will affect our habits. If you see, if for example, a few years ago, we had some financial challenges in my family. My husband was having issues. I was having some challenges with his business. I was also having some challenges at work. And one day, there's a particular day that we were not sure what we were going to have for lunch and dinner. We're not sure. So I had my aunt and a cousin staying with us then. I came and told them in the morning, I'm not sure what we're going to eat after breakfast. So you guys organize yourself for the hunger that may be coming your way today, you know? So after telling them, I went to my room and sat down and tears came to my eyes. I'm like, how did we get here? How did we get to the situation, a place where we're not sure what to eat? And as the tears came to my eyes, I remembered myself. I remembered who I am. And I sat up and I said, no, I can't cry. I refuse to cry. This is not what, so Ngozi, if you cry, will the situation change? No. If you feel bad, will it change? No. If you complain to somebody or to God, will the things change? No. So what are you going to do? And at that moment, I knew what I was going to do. So I got up, I went to my kitchen, I opened my freezer, and I started talking to my freezer. I said, freezer, you're full of food, full of nice things to eat. Chicken, beef, vegetables. I opened my fridge. I started talking to my fridge. I opened my, what you guys call pantry, or call store here in Nigeria. I opened my store and I spoke to my store. I said, there's yam, there's beans, there's rice, there's spaghetti, there's all kinds of nice food in here to eat. And when I was done talking, the food did not magically appear, but I felt better. And after a while, things started getting better. I don't know how long it took, but I know after a while, things started getting better. And since then, we have never had we have not had that situation again where we had to start thinking of what to eat, or it has never been that bad again, because I made up my mind that it will never be that bad. I had to rearrange my mind to only see good things, to only see positive things. Even when things are going wrong, I will only see positive. Because whether we know it or not, what you focus your attention on, you give energy to, and it grows, you manifest it. So if you focus your attention and energy on the wrong things, you're giving power to that thing. It starts growing, it starts getting worse. So the worse it gets, the more you complain. The more you complain, the worse. It's a vicious cycle. But if you focus your attention on the right thing, you're not creating that thing, you're making it manifest. That thing starts to manifest. It sometimes seems like magic, but it's not. Because the Bible has been talking about this thing for centuries. But somehow, even we Christians, we didn't really believe it. Now, scientists are beginning to prove it. They're beginning to prove it. Neuroscientists have studied human beings and are beginning to prove what the Bible has been talking about for centuries, for generations. People are beginning to know that the way you think matters. The words you speak, they matter. If you think the right way, you will speak the right way and you will speak the right words. And to affect your habit, you now begin to see yourself in a better way, and you begin to form the right habit. I used to think of myself as a very indisciplined person. But I found out that I'm not indisciplined. I'm just the kind of person, I don't like to be boxed in the corner. Routine is good, so I'm trying to make myself have some routine. Routine is good, but I don't like when I have too much routine. I start getting bored, and then I end up not doing the things I'm supposed to do. So recently, I told myself, because you're not indisciplined, you are disciplined. You know the right thing to do, and you know the right time to do those right things. I had to start talking to myself, and slowly, I actually started behaving like a disciplined person. I used to procrastinate. I'll have something important to do, and I won't do it. I just don't feel like doing it. I just leave it. But it's now becoming easier for me to do the things I'm supposed to do at the time I'm supposed to do them. Why? Because I changed the way I see myself. I changed the way I see myself. I used to think that when there's something, okay, like a raffle draw, if there's a raffle draw, I always think, no, does it? Your name will never come up. You're not that kind of person. They will pick someone else's tickets. They won't pick yours. You know, I used to think that the world was against me. But now I'm beginning to see the world in a totally different way. I don't see the world against me anymore. I see that I have favor everywhere I go. People remember me. How did I get to know about the Wellbeing Cafe? I had never, ever heard of the Wellbeing Cafe. But somebody somewhere just saw me somewhere and then picked me up. Why? I believe it's because of the way I started seeing myself and the way I started seeing the world. Things are beginning to change for me. This year has been the most awesome year for me. This year that has been, a very sad year generally. I've lost some loved ones, some friends, some colleagues that have died, but for me personally, it has been an awesome year for me. I finally got to write my book, a book that I felt I wasn't able to write for years. People have been pushing me to write, but finally this year, during the lockdown, I was jobless. I didn't have anything I was doing. I was at home for 2 months, so I started writing the book and I put it together. I wrote my book. So I've been featured on 1 or 2 magazines. I've been featured on some radio programs, and now I'm here. I'm sorry, but I'm really, really proud of myself this year. I'm very proud of myself, And so sometimes I wonder, so if I had thought like this 10, 15, 20 years ago, where would I have been? But it's all good, it's okay. There's a proverb, a Nigerian proverb that says, it's when you wake up, that is your morning. If you wake up in the morning, it's your morning. Wake up in the afternoon, it's your morning. Wake up at night, it's still your morning. So it's all good. So that's it. It's really important. Mindset really matters. It matters. It affects every aspect of our lives. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so honored. Thank you.